How are you guys today? Doing good, thank you. Are you guys here for the collective or the personal? Alright, personal. And your names? Okay, I'm assuming you guys are here for the twin flame reading. Perfect. Well, it looks like Marie is still in session right now, but it should just be another 5 minutes. I did let her know that you guys are here. Yes. Yeah, it won't be that long. She knows you're here. Right, so go ahead, have some refreshments, and I'll let you know when she's ready. Thank you. You guys are here for the collective reading, I'm assuming. Which readings are you here for? Spirit messages. It hasn't started yet, but before you guys do go on, I do have to go over some disclaimers and guidelines. How many of you have been here for a collective reading before? Perfect, so you guys know, the guidelines, but for the rest of you, I do have to go over this. So, because this is a collective reading, remember that the message may not all resonate with you. If it does not apply, simply let it fly. If reading does upset you, please don't disturb the others or cause a scene. But if you feel that the reader has made an inappropriate comment, please report to us at the reception and we will look into the matter. Remember that this does not replace professional health care or therapy or any doctor. And we are not responsible for the outcome of your lives. So please follow your guides and your truest instincts. Tarot is merely here as a guide and for some to use as entertainment. You're going to go out this door, down the hall, and then to the left. Thank you, and have a nice day. Welcome in. I'm assuming you guys are here for the spirit message reading. Alright, perfect. Just let me get settled down here. Please grab a cushion, take a seat wherever you want. If you prefer to see all the cards up front, preferably I would have you sit somewhere up close. But if you are sitting in the back, then I will hold the cards up for you guys to see. So whichever makes you guys feel more comfortable. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes for you guys to settle in. And I'm going to cleanse this room. And then get started on the reading. So how many of you guys have been to any of my sessions, or at least any collective reading session? Okay, just a few of you. So what I like to do in my session is, after everyone gets settled down, which looks like everyone is, I will go over the spread that we're going to do, and I'll let you guys choose a pile. And for those of you guys who need it, I do have my crystals here. Just want to cleanse this whole space. And I do want to remind you guys, for those of you guys who are choosing crystals, please choose less with your eyes and more with your intuition. So that means choose whichever you get drawn to first. You may also choose more than one pile. And don't choose crystal because you think it's very attractive or it's your favorite crystal. Alright, so we're going to get started on the reading here. So this reading is going to be on spirit messages, not more preferably, but more specifically on messages from animals. So if you saw an animal that you usually don't see in the area, or maybe you saw one in a dream, and you think they were giving you a message and you're trying to figure out what the message means, this is that reading for you. So this what we're going to do is the first card is going to represent that animal. So for example, let's say I draw this wren card. So the animal that you saw could be a wren or a bird. But this card here also has to do with studying and application, so the animal could be related to that too. And the second is going to be the main message that they have for you. I also have my Sacred Empowerment deck, which also gives positive affirmations, but also further clarifies the message that they are trying to send you. Right, so to go over that again, we have the card that represents them, whether it's a physical representation or a more spiritual or a more, I guess, metaphorical representation of them, and the message that they want to send you. Today, I'm going to do 4 piles. I usually do 3, but today, since it is a very simple reading, I'm going to extend it to 4. Alright, so I'm going to start shuffling for number 1. Number 2. Oops, pile number 1. I will show the piles without the crystals and then without the crystals. Sorry, without the crystals and then with the crystals. So pile number 3. Nope, pile number 2, sorry. So the card that represents them and the main message they're trying to send you may be saying the same thing, but there also may be an underlying message that they're trying to tell you. Number 4. Alright, so if you guys want to come up close to see the piles, you can do that. Alright, so these are the piles we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So do whatever it is that you do to connect with your higher self. Either take 3 deep breaths, take a moment for yourself, ask the question, and then choose one of the piles. And for those of you guys who want crystals, I will choose them at random. So because I choose them at random, that's why I say to choose with your intuition, not your eyes. because the meaning behind the crystals may or may not reflect the meanings of the cards. So we have pile number 1 with this lapis lazuli. Pile number 2 with the rutilated quartz. Number 3 is this amethyst necklace. And number 4 is this jasper stone. So before I get started, just take a moment. Okay, we are going to get started on pile number 1. And yes, you can choose more than one pile. You can choose all 4 if you think all 4 are calling to you. And personally, even if a reader says to choose just one pile, if you think you have to choose 2, then go with your gut instinct. Okay, so pile number 1. Oh, that's interesting. So we have 6 of airs transition and reversed. And then we have 2 of stones challenge and reversed. So for the representation, either this could be something about change or transition, and you can see that this boat is also this boat also has a swan, so maybe some of you have seen swans in your vision as well. It could also be some kind of aquatic bird as well. So the message I'm getting from this is whatever animal that you saw, their message is that they want you to change something in your life, or that this is the animal of change and this is something that you are not doing. And because of that, you're not really challenging yourself or letting yourself move forward. We have your affirmation cards. I allow destruction to make space for creation. So this lack of change does reflect this. If you're not changing something within yourself, or if you're still stuck in something and you're not allowing anything to go in or out, you're still in this stagnant area. You are still in this stagnant area where there are no ups and downs in your life. We also have, I honor all my needs, my fears, and my desires. So the reason for your lack of change, or maybe the stubbornness for you to change, is due to some kind of fear of what might happen if you do change something. This is just saying, don't worry too much about it. Change is inevitable. So the more you try to hold it off, the harder it is for you to deal with it in the future. So that's pile number 1. We're going to move on to pile number 2. Okay, we have Queen of Vessels, Salmon, and reversed. And we also have Nine of Vessels, Generosity. So some of you may have seen salmon or fishes. But also when I see this card, especially when it's in reversed, to me, it sometimes means someone who's trying not to go against the flow of things. So usually salmon, when they go upstream, they use a lot of energy, and that's kind of working against them. Even though it is a part of the nature that they have to go through, it is still, a lot to take out of them. But in reversed, this is more about them flowing downhill, not in a negative way, but they're just kind of going with the flow. And oftentimes the queen cards in this pile also has to do with some kind of nurture in some way. So because of that, I do want to read directly from the book. Yeah, so I am an intuitive reader, and because of that, I don't really care about memorizing the cards, but oftentimes or sometimes I will be guided to, my intuition will guide me to read directly from a book or maybe from a site or some page. So this says, deeply caring and kind, the queen's spirit draws upon the great honesty, generosity, and self-sacrifice which she sees in you. She brings joy to the darkest places and addresses the most difficult problems with grace and civility. So yeah, this is also where this card comes in, Nine of Vessels, generosity. So pretty much the overall message for them is saying to be more generous with others and yourself. We also have gratitude fuels my inspiration. So this isn't inherently saying that you guys are selfish or bad people. It's just saying that there are some things in your life that you should be more grateful for. And we are going to move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3, we have 6, the Forest Lovers, and 16, the Blasted Oak. So the Blasted Oak is equivalent to the Tower card. And for this one, I am going to clarify a few things. But before I do notice that these two people have this red ribbon tied around them. I think it has to do with the reading as well, because I also have this card. I'm expanding past my comfort zone into greater possibility. So this could be something about detaching from someone or something. And that does go hand in hand with the Blasted Oak card. Okay. Okay, so yeah. So the cards I drew for these is 20, the Great Bear in reversed. This is the Judgment card. And then we have 5 of Vessels, Ecstasy in reversed. So I think the message here is that you're still holding on to something that you know that you shouldn't. And it is also something that is against your better self as well. So whatever this is, it's like you're doing it for someone else, because by holding on to it, you don't really enjoy yourself. And, you know, like I said before, it is against your better judgment. You have the Blasted Oak in reverse. The message they're saying is to break away from that. I also drew another affirmation card for you. I choose to respond instead of react. So really trust your intuition. Do what feels better for you, best for you. Don't just do something because someone else tells you to do it. Alright, so that's pile number 3. Oh yeah, so for the animals, to be honest, that this part of the reading isn't that important, but it could be something that lives in a forest. something that is connected to flowers. It could have been maybe a bear that you saw. Okay, now we're going to move on to pile number 4. Okay, this is going to be another one I'm going to clarify. But just to show you, I do have Page of Stones links, so a lot of you could see maybe a lynx or some kind of wild cat or feline. And then we also have 6 of Bows Abundance. Okay, so the clarifications I pulled for the links, I have 10 of Arrows Instruction in reversed, and 3 of Vessels Joy in reversed. If the Sandhill crane or any cranes showed up anywhere, then that is also a sign. So this message I'm getting from this is, usually when I see the links card, someone who's very cautious, someone who may be curious, but they're kind of holding themselves back as well. And in this pile especially, I feel like it's saying that maybe you feel like you did something wrong, and that's why you're too hesitant to come forward about something or to someone. So we had 3 of Vessels Joy in reverse, so maybe you did something that upset someone. And the instruction in reverse card is also saying, you know, they're both pretty much saying the same thing. This is more about how you think you made them feel. This is more about what you did. So maybe you did something, or you think you did something that warranted this kind of emotion from them. And then we have for 6 of Abundance, 2 of Vessels Attraction in reversed, and Ace of Stones, Foundation of Life. So this is saying to really focus more on the positive aspects of yourself and less so on the negative aspects of yourself. Because we also have, I forgive myself for being so hard on myself for all that pressure. And some of you may not be dealing with conflicts with other people, but it may be more so within yourself. So the links card could be a sign of anxiety or social anxiety, and the cards that I clarified for it could just be the representations of overthinking something. But the message is still saying to focus on the more positive aspects of yourself and to also forgive yourself for being too hard on yourself. Alright, so that was pile number 4. So that concludes my pick a card reading for today. If any of it resonated with you, or if you like this style of roleplay ASMR, even though it's something new that I'm trying out and I'm trying to improve in the future, but it was still fun for me to do. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want more of this. I also have my personal readings down below. I do have an Etsy shop, but I do take personal message either through my YouTube, which is linked down below. But please check my Etsy first for guidelines I have.